We're hearing about some issues with tabulating votes in Arizona's Maricopa County. I know this has been going viral on social media.
I was just going to call you. How you doing?
Well, they've pissed off an already pissed off woman.
We've had some hiccups. Criminal!
I can't believe it.
To understand why they stole this election, we've got to go back to the beginning. We have to speak out right now or we're going to lose our country, we're going to lose our freedoms. And I'm willing to take on those big, tough problems with solutions that will work.
After nearly 30 years in the news business, Fox 10 anchor Kari Lake has decided to step down.
I realized that there was an agenda being pushed by the media. I didn't want to be part of that agenda.
Kari Lake has formally entered the governor's race here in Arizona.
I didn't realize how much one courageous act would mean for people.
All eyes have been on this campaign.
Who will be our next governor?
Who is ready for a change? I know you're with me and I'm with you. When we win, first line of action is to restore honesty to Arizona elections.
The irregularities at the places where they're trying to vote is really wild.
20% of the voting centers
60%
in Maricopa County had tabulating machine issues.
Ballots are not being read.
They gotta fix this problem. This is incompetency. I hope it's not malice.
This is absolutely normal, and we have tweeted out for Maricopa County.
No. Back up. Back up, right?
Is it a lie of omission or commission?
He not only perjured himself,
Running from the
It's
answer.
going to be a long night.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Kari Lake is not elected.
Listen, if we hadn't just elected somebody whose main qualification was being on TV, you could see maybe giving it a shot.
The media's here from all over the world.
This is one of the most highly contested races.
I love you, Arizona! The reason this happened is because God wants to wake more people up.
Campaign staff opened an envelope in Kari Lake's office, and it had a suspicious white powder in it.
Kari made a tremendous impression on millions and millions of people, even beyond Arizona.
This is not a campaign. This is a movement.
Stolen elections have deadly consequences, and we're going to put our foot down and not allow this to continue happening.
Has one Arizonan complained to the Secretary of State's office or anyone else about voter fraud?
We're actually being flooded with calls and emails right now, and I haven't had a chance to look at all of them.
This is the most gorgeous room I've ever appeared in front of. Thank you for the warm welcome. Rio Grande Valley, it's so good to be here and with such amazing patriots. I see a lot of mama bears out there. I know that you guys were really wishing for President Trump tonight, but you got Trump in heels, okay? It's so funny because the fake news media gave me that nickname when I was running for governor of Arizona. They said, she's Trump in heels, and they thought that I would take that as a slight. I said, that's the greatest compliment ever. Yes, I am. I believe in President Trump, and I do wear heels because I think it makes me look better. Anybody else out there for high heels? So I'm really... Oh, wait, Nick, I'm up here on stage. Oh, my gosh, are you kidding? President Trump, is that you?
That is me, and it's great to be talking to all of my friends in Hidalgo. The greatest people. That's a great group of people. That's fantastic.
Well, the people here love you, President Trump. They really do.
And I love them. And we turned Hidalgo, and we had the help of Adrian, who's with you, I know, tonight, right? Adrian Garza.
And you have a warrior named Monica de la Cruz. She's a warrior, a total warrior. She helps us whenever I need help. Monica's there. And we just have fantastic people in that room. I hear Myra Flores is there. We have a lot of, she's going to turn one around. She's going to have a big victory. I know that. But it's great to be with you tonight, even if it's only by telephone. But I feel I'm with you. You're unbelievable people. And it's a great honor to speak to you. And I hope that Kari is doing a great job in entertaining you and talking politics.
Well, we just got started, but I know that this is a passionate group of people who love this country, have an amazing work ethic, love their families, and we're in a fight the next year. Can you give us some encouraging words? Because I think some people say, how much more bad news can we take? I know the people here are willing to fight for the next year to get you in office.
Right. So we won Texas, as you know. We won Texas by a lot. We're going to win it again. That's not the question. We're doing very well in all the polls. The polls have us up 50 and 60 points, and they have us. We just had one come out against Biden. We call him Crooked Joe Biden. We used to call him Sleepy. Now we call him Crooked because it's more accurate. But we call him Crooked Joe, and the problem we have is that we have a group of people that if we don't take back our country, Hidalgo's not going to be good. No place in the country is going to be good because our country is going to be lost. It's going to be gone. The good news is we're leading him and we're leading all of the Republicans. We have Republicans that are trying to do something that they shouldn't be trying to do, and they're doing very poorly. We're up about 50 points, 5-0, and even more than that now. A poll just came out, and they said I was better at the debate by not being there. You know, that was a nice thing if you could not be at a debate. But I like being at debates, but when you're 50 or 60 points up, you don't do debates. It's not, it doesn't make sense. But I just want to say we're going to strengthen our border. We're going to drill for oil. We're going to bring your energy costs down. We're going to strengthen up our military again. I rebuilt the military, and we're going to rebuild it again. Can you imagine? They gave $85 billion worth to Afghanistan. It's not even believable. The most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. But I know you have been with me, and you have been my friend, and I'm not going to forget it. And we'll come and see you, but I just want to thank everybody. And Adrian, you've done a fantastic job, really a fantastic job. So I want to thank you for that, because I know all about Adrian, and she's really done the job. And Monica, you've been such a great champion that I appreciate it very much, and I won't forget. Well, and I just want to say, enjoy Kari. Kari is a special woman. She did phenomenally on an election, but this is what we have to be careful. All of a big portion of the voting machines happened to be broken that morning. And we don't have people with the courage to turn it around because she won that election. But I just want to thank her for being an incredible patriot. She's doing really well. She's got some big decisions to make. And she loves being with you. And she called me and she said, do you mind talking? I said, no, I don't want to do that tonight. They said, it's Hidalgo. Hidalgo. I said, okay, I'll do it. If it's Hidalgo, I'll do it. So I just want to thank everybody, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And we have to get out and vote, and we're going to beat the Republicans quickly and easily, but we're going to beat Biden and the radical left lunatic Democrats. And thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Well, President Trump, thank you so much. Let's give President Trump a Trump.
Have a good time.
Texas loves you. Thank you so much. We love you, President Trump. All right, well, I'm done. Thank you very much. No, it's so good to be with you. I had a speech that was supposed to be up here, but it's not, and so I'm going to wing it tonight. Is that okay? I said, put my notes on the podium, and they're not here, so let's wing it. And I feel like winging it because I feel like we are all connected here tonight. You know, they called me Trump in heels. Much like, you know, they attack anybody who jumps into politics from the outside. They have to attack. For many of you who don't know my story, I grew up in rural Iowa, you know, an agricultural part of the country, much like the ag that I see here. We grew different crops. We grew corn, and we raised pigs. And I grew up the youngest of 9, so family means everything to me. And I had to work very hard for everything I had. Maybe there's some people in this room who can relate, but with the family of 9, I was the youngest, 8 girls, 1 boy. Yes, he turned out normal. Usually that's the first question they ask me, how did he turn out normal? We had to work for everything. If I wanted shampoo, I had to work for it. If I wanted toothpaste, I had to work for it. Now, I thought that was normal, and I'm sure glad that I grew up that way. I grew up they said in the middle of nowhere, but I think it was the middle of everywhere. Rural, agricultural, farmers surrounding me, salt of the earth, hardworking people. And I grew up in a family where we couldn't take anything for granted. We had to work for everything we had. And I was able to achieve the American dream with that upbringing. I worked my way in, I paid my way through college, worked my way through college as a janitor and many other odd jobs, and got my way into the amazing world of media as a broadcast journalist, and worked for almost 30 years doing that. And then COVID struck, and like so many of us, COVID was like a tectonic shift. We said, what's going on here? This doesn't seem right. At first, maybe we said, okay, we'll cover our faces and we'll do this for 15 days. And then it turned into a nightmare that never ended. And I worked in the middle of media during that, and I realized, oh my gosh, the media is part of the problem. They're trying to scare us, divide us as Americans, isolate us, because when you're scared, when you're divided, and when you're isolated, you're very easy to control. And that's exactly what this is all about, controlling us. So during that time of COVID, I was making a fortune. I'd worked my way up into a really high-profile position as the news face of Arizona. And I was in the middle of a 7-figure contract. It was a very lucrative career for me. And I realized as I got closer to God during that time that the work I was doing was not just biased, but it was immoral. If you're not telling people the truth, then you're not moral. That's immoral work. And so I prayed to God and I said, God, I can't do this anymore. But I'm a little bit afraid to walk away from this paycheck. Can I just tell you, I'm human. I was afraid to walk away from a big paycheck. We've all had to face some difficulties, but I said, I just don't want to regret this. And I talked to my wonderful husband who's out here somewhere. And I said, how do you feel about me walking away from this massive paycheck? And he's such an amazing man of God. He said, you can't do work that is immoral. And so at that moment, yeah, thank you. I said one more prayer to God. Are you sure, God, I'm making the right decision? Give me a hint. And I happened to have a Bible at my desk. I pulled it open, laid my finger down at the first verse, and I said, give me a hint if I'm making the right decision. I don't want to regret this. And I'm not kidding you. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 7, you bring nothing into this world, and it is for certain you take nothing out. Is that where we are right now? All of our treasure, all of our wealth, all of the things we've gained materially mean nothing at the end of the day if our beautiful children don't have freedom. If we lose our country, if we don't have a country to leave to our grandchildren, none of that matters. And so it was with that I said, okay, I heard the message loud and clear, God, peace out, I'm leaving my job. And the amazing thing happened, the people of Arizona, when I put a video out announcing why I was leaving, they said, would you please run for office? We need somebody who we trust in there, somebody who understands Arizona. And much like Myra, I said, you know what? I will step forward. I love my kids. I know what Arizona needs. I've watched as these politicians come and go, lie, say they're going to do one thing, do the opposite. I'm going to jump into the political arena. You know, that's what our founding fathers envisioned, that citizens would step forward, that mama bears would step forward. And so I stepped into it, and boy, I did not realize how bad the attacks would be. Myra, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Ooh, they come after you. President Trump knows what I'm talking about. When you are an outsider stepping into this political swamp, and they can't control you, and they can't bribe you, and they can't blackmail you, you are so dangerous. As a matter of fact, one day on the campaign trail, my amazing team would send me the clippings from the media. And one of them said, headline, the most dangerous politician in America. And I thought, okay, I'm drinking my coffee. I scrolled down. I thought, surely it's a picture of President Trump. And they mentioned me in the article because he had endorsed me. I scrolled down, and it was me. This little mom from, Arizona who's worried about her career. I'm dangerous, just like Myra is dangerous, just like every mother and father in this room is dangerous, because we're not going to take it as they destroy our children's future. So yeah, I am dangerous, okay? We are dangerous. And we're not going to stop being dangerous, because dangerous means that we're going to stand up as mothers. And maybe we're going to get involved with the GOP. Maybe we're going to run for office. Maybe we're going to show up at school board meetings and stand up when we find out they're trying to tell our boys they can be girls and our girls they can be boys. This is crazy stuff. Every single one of us has a gift from God, and we need to use it. And the easiest thing we can use right now, the strongest weapon we have, is our voice. That means that maybe 3 years ago, you supported President Trump, but you were afraid to say it. We got to speak loud and clear that President Trump is the only one who can save this country right now. These other guys can't do it. They can't. Did you all see the debate? Not many people watched it, but the debate, it was cute. I was there. I told President Trump I'd go and be a surrogate for him. How many of you played baseball growing up? Okay, did you play t-ball? Anybody start at t-ball? You know what t-ball is, right? They don't even get pitches. They just put it right up there on the tee and hit. That was the t-ball team on that debate stage. And we've got President Trump, who is Babe Ruth. Why would we take the t-ball team when we've got Babe Ruth? Why? Doesn't make sense. We have a man who put America first. We have a man who secured the Arizona border and the Texas border and the California border. I know because I covered Arizona for 30 years, almost 30 years. That border was never more secure than under President Trump. And guess what? He had to do it with everybody fighting him. Even the Republicans were fighting him. And he put that wall up. I just was down here on the border a few hours ago. I saw the President Trump wall versus the Joe Biden wall. Didn't surprise me. The Joe Biden wall was pretty small, pretty weak, pretty feeble. The President Trump wall was strong. We were a strong country when President Trump was at the helm, and we need that man back in the White House now more than ever. And it's going to take, I'm giving the moms a lot of credit here, because I know that the Hidalgo GOP got turned around when a mom took charge, when Adrian said, I'm coming in and taking charge. It's going to take the mama bears to step up, but I'm not saying that because we aren't, because we are. And how many of you have seen a National Geographic where you have like a, if you watch any of those nature videos where they say the most dangerous place you can possibly be in all of nature is between a mama bear and her baby cub. That's right. You're not going to survive that. There's one thing more dangerous, being between a Latina mom and her children. I tell you, it's like grizzly bear and her baby cubs, or a Latina mother, and you're going to get in front of her children and try to pervert them or hurt them. You better I'd rather have a grizzly bear come after me than a Latina mom, okay? And I know there's a bunch of them in this room. And I say that partially because my children are Latina. I have a Latino son as well, Latino, and my husband is as well. He's Colombian. I'm the gringo in the house, okay? But I know how important family is. I know how important in the Hispanic community God is. And what's happening in this country is an attack on God and an attack on our families. And I don't care if you're Latino, gringo, whatever, we're not going to take it as you come after our children. We will claw you to death, okay? Mama bears aren't going to take it. We're not going to take it as our girls' sports are taken over by men who want to dress up as women. And I don't care if that makes me controversial. That is mental illness, and we're not going to have a bunch of mentally ill men take our womanhood away from us. It's not going to happen under this mom's watch. We don't want boys in the girls' locker room, okay? At the same time, they have tried to brainwash our young, beautiful daughters into thinking that abortion is health care. God has given us a miracle when he gives us life and he makes us mothers. That is a miracle. And to take that and to twist that into our young generation to think that taking the life of their baby is health care is absolutely sick. And I'll tell you what, when they first started pushing that, they were saying rare but legal. That's not what it is anymore. The Democrats want to push abortion right up until the moment that baby is born and even after that. That is murder and that is cruel. And I don't like that at all. What I want to see truly is actually supporting women. And the left tries to change the language around abortion. They say, we're pro-choice. Really? You walk into an abortion clinic and you're given one choice. The absolute worst choice. They don't counsel you and say, why are you choosing this? How can we help you? Is it financial? Can we help give you some financial help? Would you like to see another family who would love to love that baby, adopt that baby? Can we help you with some adoption services? They give you one choice. They're not pro-choice. They give you one choice. It's the worst choice. And I will tell you, raise your hand if you're a mom in this room. Got a lot of mama bears. Good. I challenge you to ask any woman who's had an abortion, and they're victims as well, do you regret that? And you ask them a few months later, a year, 10 years later, and it is, for many of them, the greatest regret of their life, and they can't go back and make it better. Many end up infertile because of these horrible procedures that happen. And I challenge you to ask any mother, anyone in this room, no matter how difficult that moment was, no matter if you were financially insecure, if you didn't know where your relationship stood with your husband or the father of the child, if you were afraid, I challenge any woman who's a mother, ask her, do you regret having that baby? You will not find one mother on this planet who regrets being a mother. It's the greatest gift God ever gave us. Is that right? So I think the fact that moms are getting into the political arena, we have a real ability to help other women. We have a real ability to change the course of our country because we're seeing it through the prism of a mother who loves her family. We're seeing it through the prism of a mother who's looking at her little ones and saying, what's their future going to look like? How can we make sure they have those same freedoms we had? And we have the ability to really change lives. And I encourage every mother to get involved. Now, I don't want to leave the dads out because I think the Papa Bears are the strongest out there of all of them, okay? That's right. Someone just flexed his muscles over there. I'm going to say something else controversial. Who's recording me? Who's going to end up on Facebook? Men and women are not created equal. We're not equal. We're different. There are two genders. God made us to be complementary. And I am a powerful woman. Because we're not equal doesn't mean we're not powerful. But we are women and men are men, and this, if we can't figure that out, we're in trouble, guys. These are some real basics. Can you imagine going to a zoo or going out into the safari and seeing other species behaving the way that the radical left is pushing on us, where they were trying to change their gender. If you saw a giraffe trying to change its gender, you'd be like, I'm very, very, very concerned about the giraffe population right now. If you saw a zebra trying to dress up like a different species, you'd be like, I'm incredibly concerned about the zebra population. They're not going to survive this. This is a really pivotal moment in our history, and we have a chance to affect change. And as difficult as it is, and I asked President Trump to give us some encouraging words tonight, I am so happy to be here at this moment. How many of you wake up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning occasionally worried about the direction things are going? Can't just be me, right? Only a few of us? Wait a minute, are you guys sleeping through the night? How? I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. One of my dear friends said, it's not insomnia, it's that you're so busy that God knows he has to wake you up so that you'll talk to him. So at 3 or 4 in the morning, I talk to God a lot. And I try to always give him thanks for putting me here at this moment. How did this kid from Iowa, youngest of 9, grew up with very little, end up in the center of the political world right now? Because God placed us here for a reason. How did Mayra Flores end up in the middle of the political world right now? How did Adrian end up in the middle of the most important political moment in this country's 247-year history? How did you end up here? Why did God put you here? Why did God put this precious child here? And that handsome man and this incredible guy, he put us here because we are the people to save this country. And I'm not letting it go on my watch. I don't know about you. So I know we have a lot of Border Patrol agents in this crowd. How many are in here? Right there's one. How many of you know or love a Border Patrol agent or a law enforcement officer? This is a county that understands what it means to have a secure border. The people coming across our border, 18,000 in 9 months, are Chinese men of fighting age. This is coming from the official Border Patrol stats. Why they're not this is not huddled masses. These are not people coming over, a family in need. Why are we having military-age men pouring across our border right now? Because Joe Biden has sold out our country. Joe Biden doesn't work for we the people. He works for the CCP. He works for Ukraine, Kazakhstan. He's even taken money from the mayor of Moscow's wife and many, many more nations. He is controlled by our adversaries. And he is a major danger and threat to our country. A major danger. So we have a guy sitting in the White House. I don't believe he won that election. That 2020 election was rigged and stolen. And we need to get him out. And because we did not do the right thing after that 2020 election was stolen from we the people, they stole 22 from me and we the people of Arizona. And I'm fighting tooth and nail to get justice for that. I had a lot of Republicans say, don't fight it. They said, Kari, don't fight it. Just run again. I said, it'll hurt your political career, they said, if you fight this. And I said, I don't give a damn about my political career. I didn't run to be the governor of Arizona to have a political career. I ran to be governor of Arizona because I'm worried about the direction of our state. And if I don't fight this rigged election, then the hundreds of thousands of millions of Arizonans whose vote was disenfranchised, whose vote was trampled on, who's going to fight it for them? So we have 4 cases going. We're going to trial again in September. Our original election case in the appellate court. I've got a case in the federal court. If they want to play lawfare with us, we will play lawfare with them, because we're not going to allow this anymore. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. I had a speech I was going to deliver. Nick did not put it on the podium, so I'm all over the place tonight. But what I'm trying to tell you, and I know that it's been a long day, and the people in Hidalgo work hard, and so you're probably ready to, if you're like me, you're probably exhausted and ready to go to bed after the end of a long week. We cannot take our foot off the pedal. We've got 1 year to save this country. And I know for a fact we're going to win this battle. But not if we say, well, we're not going to vote because the system is rigged. Yes, the system is rigged. But how do you stop 325 million Americans who are fed up when they show up, even in a rigged system, and say, we're voting for Donald J. Trump? You don't stop them. And I believe at the end of this year, as tough as times have been, it's going to get a little tougher. And more people, when you think you're ready to quit because it's too tough, just remember, it's tough because more people are now waking up. More people are saying, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to call Adrian at the GOP and ask if I can knock doors. What can I do? What can I do to help? More moms and dads are going to show up at the school board meetings and say, you know, we're not having that book at our children's school that's describing really profane things. We're not having that at our children's school. The power in this country lies with we the people. And when we the people rise up, they're going to be afraid of us. And that's where it needs to be. Our government should be afraid of us. We shouldn't be afraid of our government. And that's where we are right now. So I just want to leave you with, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know where it goes, but I do have 100% faith in God. I turned my life over to God, not 50%, not 75%. I literally said, God, I'm yours. Use me however you want. And I'll tell you what, growing up in that family where if you worked hard enough, you could make this happen. You work hard enough, you can accomplish that. When you relinquish a little bit of that control and hand it up to our Creator, what He has planned for you is so much bigger than anything your mind could imagine. That's why I'm standing here right now. So I just want you to know, and I hope you're in it with me, I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm going to stand up every day. I'm going to speak out for President Trump. I'm considering giving another run for office, but at the same time, you know, if they're so afraid of President Trump that they had to steal the 2020 election from him, that's the kind of guy we want in the White House, right? If they're so afraid of Trump in heels, the most dangerous politician in America, that they stole our election in Arizona right in broad daylight to keep us out, I don't want to give them that. We're going to jump back in with 2 feet. We're going to jump back in with 2 feet. So I'm making some decisions right now, but I just want you to know, and I'm hoping you're with me, I'm not going to stop fighting for my children, selfishly, and my future grandchildren, I pray, please God. And I know that the mothers and fathers in here aren't going to stop fighting. Are you with me? Are you willing to, for the next year, devote a lot of attention and time to fighting? I thought so. Hidalgo County, the GOP, thank you for everything. Thank you for having me. I'm in this fight with you. We are all in this together. Let's take back America. Thank you so much.